Hi, this is the start of a series of interviews for I.D.E.A.L family, who is part of I.D.E.A.L Society in British Columbia, Canada. And today we're going to talk with François Amigues, who is an osteopath and who has lots of experience with pregnancy and babies. The rest of the series of interviews is going to have subjects like acupressure, like singing, like breathing, and many more. So every month we're gonna bring another interview for the moment. And today, if you can maybe, François, give a little background about yourself in just a short version. Thank you.
So, hello everybody. I am effectively passionate by pregnancy since I'm 17. My true background come when I listen about lectures talking about the power of pregnant women, on the future of baby, and finally on the future of humankind. It was a moment as an old teenager I was so interested by changing the world, and I find my track. And since then, I've organized many congress, international congress in health and pregnancy. I've developed certain organization to ease the prenatal in Montreal, in Canada, and with I.D.E.A.L family here in I.D.E.A.L Society, this beautiful project for families in British Columbia. And we travel the world with my wife and friends to share this knowledge about pregnancy and the importance and the power of parents on their children.
So how is this subject so important, pregnancy?
This subject has become important. It always have been, but now we have new findings that can prove what Frederick Douglass said. It is easier to repair. It is easier to build a strong children than to repair a broken man. And this new funding comes from the concept of epigenetics.
Okay, so can you give a little bit more explanation about epigenetics? What is that about?
So there is a beautiful movie that I recommend to you. The name is Life Imitates Birds. And but in 2 words, epigenetics has been discovered around 50 years ago, but since 10 years it has been accepted as the standard internationally by all researchers. But it takes a long time to be applied in our daily life. So this is a bit the purpose of us is to make you up to date with these new findings. Epigenetics works with 5 factors. So there is, but the principle of epigenetics is everything that the mother experiences in the womb will impact the baby in her womb. And from this impact, this baby is going to survive to especially the stress he experiences, and this survival will determine his primal health. It's a concept of Michel Audin, a doctor very specialized in prenatal. And it's mean the foundation of our physical, emotional, mental health is developed during the pregnancy.
So this means that the genetics that we thought were so important, in fact, are have now another vision on how genetics work.
Exactly. And in the intuition of most women, they know that when they are pregnant, they are doing something which is going to change the world, which is bringing a new soul in this world. So change it. But since long time, they haven't got the condition enough to do the work. And now we understand what is so important. Scientifically, 5 elements have been identified that impregnate the baby. The first is everything which is chemical, meaning the food, roughly. What you eat is going to impact, of course, the health of the mother and the health of the baby, which is built with this food. So this is very simple to understand, but there is little side. You have side like everything which is chemical. In fact, what you wear, the clothes you have, the air you breathe, the water you drink, and the radiation you're exposed to, all that's become chemical in your body, and this chemi affect the baby.
Right. So what are the other points then that impact the epigenetics?
So the second element is the movement. It's strange, but life is movement. Rudolf Steiner was saying that many years ago, and your ability to be in a healthy body, which has a good movement, fluidity, has an impact on all the fluid, the movement of the fluid into your womb, into your body. And when your body has enough movement, all the flow of the fluid is better in your own body and carry health, carry heat too. And late discovery have shown that when your internal organs are enough warm, your body is healthy, and it's the same for the baby. So when we talk about movement, we talk about soft movements. One of the best is to walk, and to walk with nothing in your arm, to have a symmetrical, harmonious movement. The other is to do few exercise, light exercise. There is plenty of them. And but the movement talk about breathing. Breathing is considered the first movement of all. So to have moment during your day where you take deep breath is one of the most famous and efficiency movement for your baby.
Okay, so what about the environment? Does that have to do something also? The environment of the pregnant woman?
Exactly. And so when we talk about environment in general, it's where we talk about stress. And so the third element is how you manage your stress. How you manage your stress is about dealing with how you polarize with stress. So stress is a force that penetrates you. Stress is from scratch positive. Without stress, we never evolved. We need stress. Stress means a force is penetrating you. And so there is the sun, there is all the elements that stress your body. And because of this stress, you polarize yourself and you receive this energy, and you produce life with that. You produce a learning too. You learn how to survive in the winter, in the summer, in spring, etc. But when you have a stress, which is more a human stress, which is the first reason of our impact on the baby, when this stress is negative, the baby is going to help you to survive to this stress. And this is something amazing. We realize that the baby, in fact, spend the first moment of their life to help their mother to survive to the stress they meet. If the mother manage well the stress, the baby don't have to do that, and the baby can thrive. If the mother is really struggled by a big stress, especially relational stress, the baby has to help the mother, and the baby read in the womb which organs is involved. We know now since 20 years that 70% of the reason of consultation of people to the doctor are stress that we embody. And we embody this stress first in our brain, after in our organs, and after in our muscle chains and peripheral nerves. So the baby read all that and is going to develop an hyperactivity of certain organs to send hormones to the mother to reinforce these organs, which answer to the stress. It's a bit complex matter, but now we have the proof how the baby supports the stress of the mother.
Okay, so what is then the outcome for the baby?
So very, very good question, because now that we know the stress impact, there is people who have developed the concept of the protective shield of the mother. The protective shield of the mother to stress is made of several aspects. The first of them is to dialogue with your baby. The first things to do when the stress hits you and you feel bad is to inform the person which is in you. When we have the information, when there is a dialogue, first we ease the relationship with our baby. The baby don't receive a bomb, but the mother, either there is a bomb, say, darling, there is a bomb, we are together, everything will go good. So you can put your hand on your tummy and have this inner or out loud speech with your baby to inform. And secondly, to console. to say to the baby, well, now, in fact, this stress me a lot, but I'm not in danger to die. This is very important. So, because I'm not in danger to die, don't help me. The baby is like in an hypnotic mode in the womb. So everything the mother dialogue with the baby and ask to the baby is going to execute it. As soon the baby is reassured that the mother is not in danger.
So, what is in general like the outcome of somebody who's not really very, very conscious about these 9 months? What is the outcome for the baby in general? Like, is there a difference with when the mother really takes care of these 9 months?
So that's very important. I did go with this third element. The management of the stress has been demonstrated to change everything in a pregnancy. You have to know that 75% of pregnancy are without communication with the baby. So a lot of researchers have been able to measure mother that have this inner relation with their baby and deal with the stress, and the mother who didn't do that. When they didn't do that, the baby, as I said previously, is going to take on him or on her the responsibility to make their mother more healthy. And this energy is not used to develop the baby at its full potential. Physically, sometimes it's less visible, but emotionally and intellectually it will be much more visible. We know, for example, when there is the tempest of the ice in Quebec, that the mother who have been under deep stress with no assistance, their children have lost between 4 to 12 points of IQ. So you can see a tremendous impact on these children. Of course, because of the plasticity of the brain, we can always recover all that. There is always, but it's more difficult to repair a broken man than to make a strong baby. That's the point of today. And so it's an example how the stress literally gets imprint the baby and damage his physical, emotional, intellectual system, neurodevelopment system. So the chemistry that is involved on that is not very known and can be demonstrated very easily. As soon the mother can soften the stress and eventually replace it by other activities, suddenly the baby can be absolutely not impacted and make this stress transform in a strength. And that's wonderful. So the mother is not necessarily need to live in the pinky world with no stress, but to learn how to deal with stress. We cannot avoid them. And in meantime, and we go to the fourth
Yes.
epigenetic elements that impregnate the baby, is the time that the mother take to nurture activity that make her happy. So we call that nurture her ideals. For example, singing, any art, but it could be taking walks outside, gathering with people they love. Cooking could be doing certain soft sports that doesn't impact the body. Anything that's looking for astronomy or the stars at night, going to gathering, to go at the bathing yourself in the sunrise in the morning. The connection with nature is something wonderful that enhances our energy, our vibration, our heart and mind. So having spiritual activities, all that is the moment which is very precious. And we advise ideally the mother to take a moment, a meeting with a baby, 2, 3, 10 times a day, to have this special moment where together they worship the life, they enjoy life, they celebrate life, and make your baby be part of that. You can sing with the father, you could really have a me moment, touching the baby in the womb, playing with the baby, but more important, a moment for yourself with your partner where you elevate yourself, where you have fun, but a fun, elevating fun. You have many type of, you have a big difference between excitation that creates dopamine in the body, that creates addiction, and is not expanding your tissues inside your body. It's the opposite to stress your tissue. So it's a pleasure that stress your tissues. And you have the serotonin, the hormone of happiness. Each time you do a soft activity that make you feel expanding. You feel your solar plexus expanding. These exercise make you impact deeply the baby and increase the serotonin into the baby. So it was the fourth one. And to finish, perhaps,
there's a fifth one.
A fifth one,
Yes.
which is about the network. We call that the efficiency network around you. How your parents support you, your partner, of course, but everybody, the whole society. This is a principle of Russian dolls. The baby is the center, you're around, your partner is around, your parents are around. All this connection is very important. What is this network? What is this environment? How do you weave harmonious relationship with your siblings, with your parents? And you cannot avoid them, so you better to learn eventually before be pregnant, to soften all the bitterness, to concentrate yourself on the higher self of everybody, to see the people in their soul or in their beauty, in their high energy, to avoid the more conflict you can. As soon you consider a person with loving regards, more the person is positive with you. So this type of training is very important to learn, because this environmental support is so important to determine how you feel and how the baby feel.
Thank you, François. And I know also that you are a father and that you have experienced yourself this beautiful period 2 times, and that you have lots to share with us. But that's going to be another interview later on, where you can really go into the role of the father. And just one little question though. So it seems also that the preparation before conception is very important.
So when you see the stake that I just described of these 5 factors, and probably more to discover, when you see the stake of that, you realize that, wow, you should be prepared more than to do a PhD to have a baby. It's not to stress people, because in fact our main preparation is about love. How to love ourselves, how to love our partner, how to love life, because this is, if you can see the line across these 5 elements, this is the most important element that you are going to need to offer to your baby. So preconception and learning more about love, about your identity as a woman, as a man, as a couple, is for me the best preparation to just give you the biggest line. And especially to love more your life, to be able to give a loving life.
Beautiful, thank you. It seems also that you recently came out with a book of anyways, you have been participating in the writing of a book. So can you maybe just give us the title of the book and where they can find that?
Absolutely. Well, today is the world of connection amongst all of us. So we are part to a bigger organization called I.D.E.A.L, and we are part to another international organization called prenatalalliance.org, where you can find this book. And so it's an ebook which is on it, and the title is Pregnancy Matters. So very easy to find it. It's free to download.
Okay, François, thank you so much for all your
wisdom,
and we hope to meet all of you later on next month for another interview. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Christina, for your initiative.